This is the log of Mark Winterbottom. As I stand on this aged rock, at one with this historic monument, I sometimes wonder what our predecessors would think of how we have walked in their shadows. Are we worthy enough to fill their shoes? Are we just good enough to lick the soles? I hope that we keep in the time-honoured traditions of the Lighthouse alive in this new millennium, although I do feel that several of these men would be turning in their graves if they knew about Davy's antics. So, as another page closes in the tome of the history, we open quite carefully a new chapter, and hope we don't cock it up for all those that have gone before us. So listen to the next installment of The Lighthouse and judge for yourselves. Episode 4, Crash Bang Scallop.
And that was the news on the day when the east end of London and the south coast took a battering from the Hun. Chin up, lads and lasses. We'll give Mr. Hitler a taste of his...
The weather's quite atrocious out there, Keeper Darwin. At least this miserable weather should prevent Jerry from bombing the mainland tonight.
Well, that means they'll have a little go at us instead. It didn't help last time, you standing on the top of the tower mooning at them with 2 V's painted in red on your bottom, whilst they were flying past.
Just doing my bit for the war effort.
Well, that's all we need. You getting blasted to Kingdom Come, leaving me alone here.
Not for long, though. That young Scottish fella's coming over the next couple of weeks, due to us losing Keeper Beadle to Bathsheba's a couple of days ago.
Terrible state of affairs. Disappeared, never to be seen again.
What's the guy's name?
Tam McRoy or something. He's coming down from Scotland. I phoned him through the mainland. Looks like he's got some kiddywinks as well. One of them, Robert, was making a right racket in the background. I could hardly hear myself think.
I don't mind the Scots. As long as he doesn't drink my black market Dundun whiskey, then I'll be happy.
What did you say about the weather and the air raids? Let's get somewhere safe. Why are you taking that elephant-foot umbrella stand with you?
It's a treasured possession, and it's also valuable.
Listen, Keeper Brook, it's only valuable to an elephant with 3 legs. Leave it.
Bloody hell. They're getting closer.
They most probably want revenge.
For what?
They're being dazzled by the reflection from your pale bum.
That's what you'd call a bomber's moon.
Why did they bomb us? We're not important.
It's because they need to get rid of their bombs on the way home, and also, let me think, it could also be because we lit up like the star on the top of the Christmas tree.
They're lousy shots, though. Most of them go into the mud on the eastern shore of the island.
Yeah. Mainly near the sewage vent. The bomb disposal vessels don't want to touch them.
I don't blame them.
Yes. Who in the right mind would think of their last memory on this earth trying to defuse an unexploded bomb, knee-deep in human waste?
Let's look at it this way. The sea will bury them. It's not like anyone's going to go around into that area.
Okay, attach nozzle to appliance, ensuring that the hose is securely in place. Done. Put a plug into your power source. Done. Turn the vacuum cleaner on, and hey presto, clean floors to be proud of. Okay, Henrietta. Henry had his uses, but it's the end, he just wasn't up to it. I'm betting he isn't half as dirty as you're going to be. Shall we start with a good old-fashioned blow?
David! You finished that vacuuming yet?
Just starting.
Get a move on. You know the Lighthouse inspector is coming over soon?
And so was I. Bloody typical. We're just getting to know each other, and we get interrupted, baby. Just get on with the job you were made for, and then later on we'll do something you weren't. Oh, bloody thing's useless. Let me check out your nozzle. Can't see anything up here. Let me give you a quick blow down your tube.
Bloody fella.
Help me!
No, it's your problem.
Thanks for the help here, guys. Best that must have looked like some sort of sicko with a vacuum cleaner French kissing me.
You kissed it back.
What are you saying? That he jumped up and attached himself to your lips? Do you think even the domestic appliances fancy the nation's sensation?
French kissed? With tongs?
Of course, it would have been rude not to.
That is it. I'm now banning you from touching all other electrical appliances on the Lighthouse. The mind boggles over what you might have done to the vegetable steamer.
Got hot and wet.
There's an idea.
David, as well as leaving an impression on us today, Henrietta has left an impression on you. Have a look in the mirror.
My lips look like Mick Jagger's with a collagen implant.
No, a baboon's backside.
You finish in the vacuum in here, as David cannot be trusted with anything with a sucking motion. He can go out and get some shellfish on the eastern shore for lunch.
Why go to the eastern shore? It's nearer.
Do as you were told. The shellfish seems to grow bigger there.
I'm telling you, the reason for that is...
I don't want any excuses. Get going.
Be it on your own heads and stomachs.
What was that?
Nothing.
That seafood will go nicely with that fish we caught yesterday in a fish pie.
What fish was it?
I think it was a pouting, wasn't it, David?
Very funny.
Bloody idiots. Just because I may have been a minor celebrity chef does not make me a hunter and a gatherer for slimy things for them to eat. I should be hunting and gathering women to add to my porking chart, not wading into God knows what. Sod that, I've had enough of this. I need to recharge my batteries and give my loved ones a good airing in the mainland. As for why the shellfish grow so big, I'm surprised Mark doesn't know about the waste pipe. I'll give him a night to remember and teach them to treat me like a poor version of Ainsley Harriet. Ooh, what are these metal things in the mud? Oh, I've got to get some of these. What with the price of scrap metal, I'll make a fortune out of this.
Captain, we are in deep trouble.
What? Not again?
This time it's a major catastrophe.
The other times weren't?
Okay, they were, but this problem is Bob Fellows, the lighthouse inspector, is ill, and so will not be coming over.
Hurrah! Problem is...
His deputy, Cynthia Delabouche, is coming over instead.
So?
Surely you must have heard of her.
Let me think. No.
Cynthia! The woman who, although being stunningly beautiful, has a tendency to make grown men cry. Cynthia, the woman who looks and treats everyone as if they are pieces of fetid sputum.
What's her name again?
Cynthia! Do not play stupid with me and stop putting on that monosyllabic act when we are alone. Talk to me normally.
Okay, so what is the problem?
David!
Could you expand on that? Stop talking monosyllabically.
With Cynthia on the island, David would act like a...
Randy dog humping a woman's leg.
Exactly! We must be able to get him off the island before she comes over here. And then we can tell her he's not here because of...
Shore leave?
Brilliant! Great idea! I knew you would save the day!
As always. What do you think of the state of the living quarters?
Wow, this place is cleaner than with a person with automyophobia and OCD combined.
Someone who has a fear of cars?
Stop being stupid again. It is a fear of dirt. Everyone knows that.
Anyone with a dictionary, maybe?
Oh, thank God for that. I'm sure those seagulls can't take a joke. What's the matter with you guys?
The carpet!
What about it? Oh, I see what you mean. It's a bit dirty. You sure Robin hasn't been interfering with a vacuum cleaner?
Kiss my sporran!
You walked the entire content of the shoreline into the carpet. We'll have to start again. Did you get any seafood?
Of course. I'll put it in the fridge in a minute. But before that, Mark, I have a question for you.
Oh, for Pete's sake, David. This is the very last time telling you. Babies do come out of a woman's...
Private?
Oh, you do understand. Thank God for that.
Understand what? I know they could be stretchy, but everyone knows babies are brought by storks. What I mean is that I want to talk to you in private, Mark.
I get the message.
Well, Robert?
Yes, David?
I need a private word.
What do you want?
Not with you, with Mark.
Want me to go?
Yes. Alright, I've made it more obvious.
A bit more.
Let me cut to the chase, Mark. I need to have some shore leave. I'm exhausted.
Yes, you must be. What with all that sitting in the sun and avoiding work? It hasn't got anything to do with Bob Fellows coming over here, has it?
Bob Fellows? Who's he?
The lighthouse inspector? Our boss? Let me refresh your memory. He was the one who you swapped his seasickness pills for ecstasy tablets last time he came over here. Who he then spent the ride home scared because he kept thinking 20-foot pink seals were going to attack him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's him. How's he now?
Good. Nothing a couple of months of aversion therapy and a good psychologist could not fix. I will let you have shore leave for one proviso.
I told you, I'm not setting you up on any dates with my exes. Alright, the last one you had with Tina was so embarrassing for me.
For you? How was I to know she was a nymphomaniac? I met her in the pub where she unceremoniously dragged me into the toilets and tried to do something unmentionable with a courgette.
Oh, no. I forgot about that. When I looked in my little black book and it had that she liked vegetables, I thought she was a vegetarian. Apart from having man meat, of course.
Can we get back to the one condition of you going?
Okay. I'll be back at the Lighthouse at 8 o'clock tonight. Sober.
I will tell you what. Have the night off and do anything you want, but make sure it is legal. Then ensure that you are back on the island in the morning. I will call Patricia to pick you up.
Suits me fine. I've got a bit of business to do anyway.
Business? What kind of business?
A bit of selling scrap metal.
Just make sure you are not jaded by the end of it.
I won't, as I'll make sure that I'll have 5 portions a day.
Of fruit and veg?
What do you think? Maybe. I think I'll have some courgettes first. Bye.
How long is he going to be? As I've got to pick the cow up at 3.
I detect from your tone you do not like this woman.
Don't like? Whatever gave you that idea? Hate would be a better word to use. We went to school together and she was the only one who spoke properly. She had a plum in her mouth.
Who's got plums in her mouth? What did I miss? Or do you all talk dirty when I'm out of the room?
Yes, you cannot move for all this blue air in the room. Bottom guffs! Your turn, Robert.
Toss my caber!
Right, everyone has finished swearing. Okay?
Big hairy knapsacks!
That's quite enough, Robert. Before you go, David, have you sorted out the seafood for tonight's dinner?
Of course I have. There's cockles, mussels, scallops, razor clams, and also hairy clams.
You're disgusting, David.
Yeah, I know, but what would you do if I wasn't here?
Have a bit of life?
Have a fully functional lighthouse?
Gain happiness and contentment in a job knowing I wasn't going to be poured over by a big randy Labrador with all the social grace of a squash snail every time I delivered their supplies.
You saying that I'm a dog?
No, I'm comparing you to a dog.
I'm nothing like a dog.
True. Dogs are friendly, loyal, trusted companions, and they're also obedient.
They can lick their balls.
I bet you've tried that as well, haven't you, David?
Is that the time? We better be going.
What is that clonking noise?
David's brain trying to escape.
It's coming from his bag.
I told you it's just a bit of business. I found scrap metal when I was collecting the seafood and thought I'd make some dosh out of it.
I applaud recycling of metal. It must have been from the LeBaron that ran aground.
Yeah, that's right. Did I tell you the story about how
We all know about it. You ingrained it into our brains non-stop for 2 weeks after it happened.
My brain switched off.
No, you meant the 2 cells which hadn't been affected by alcohol switched off.
And how are you going to recycle this metal then? Use a licensed scrap metal dealer?
I thought I'd do it the way everyone does these days. Tout it around St. Furzey's Bay.
If that includes Flotsam and Jetsam, I'd have thought you'd stay away from that place after the shooting incident.
Why?
Whose brain switched off now?
Pat, can we get going as I've got a hot day? It's going to make me an erotic salad.
What's that all about?
Don't ask.
Well, this is where you get off.
No, that's later on when I meet up with Tina.
If your libido ever have a rest period,
The only time it'll rest is when I'm dead.
or you eagerly await the day.
Oh, don't be like that. If you're not doing anything at the moment, how about I invite you to...
Lunch, that's very kind of you.
No, I was going to say to a threesome. Tina's very broad-minded.
No thanks. Anyway, from what you've told me about her on the way over here, I like to get my 5 a day by eating fruit and veg. Anyway, I've got to take Cynthia over to the island soon to inspect the lighthouse.
Cynthia, who's she? I thought it was that Bob Fellows bloke doing it.
No, there's been a change of plan. Bob's ill, and now Cynthia LaBouche is assisting us with the boat.
She sounds like a bit of a goer.
The name of a French sailor massive maggot.
Really? Why didn't anyone tell me whilst I was on the isle?
Still been on a need-to-know basis.
And with that thing you've just said, I definitely needed to know. What time are you leaving to go back with her?
About 3 o'clock.
Do me a favour, Pat, wait for me. I've got to meet this Cynthia and make an impression on her. See ya.
Bye. And as for making an impression on her, I'm sure you will. And after that, she'll make an impression on your face. With her fist.
May I point your foreigners, please, Malcolm? This time I have the real stuff, not the watered-down crap that you flog to the tourists.
Coming straight up, a pint of lager shandy for the pervert.
Don't be like that. I said I'm sorry about the elephant incident.
Look, I don't know what upset the punters more. The fact your impression of an elephant involved you using your pockets as ears and your tackle as a trunk, or the fact you run around trying to use it to try and pick up peanuts.
I can't help it, it was a heavy night.
It was! You'd only just come in. Let's hope it doesn't happen tonight.
Why, what's happening here?
It's the quiz. Name that fish night.
Oh yeah, Patricia said to tell you that she's got you a lovely bit of red mullet for it.
Boo! I had mullet as well, and now I'm not going to win any money on it. Thanks for that. A whole evening of entertainment wasted.
I'm sure you'll think of something more taxing. What about trying to work out what the meat is in one of those pies you sell?
Did you come here to insult me, or do you want something else?
Something else comes very soon. What I've got is a bit of business for it. Do you know anybody looking to buy some scrap metal?
There are a few people coming here who might be interested. Leave some samples with me and I'll see what I can do.
Okay, Dave. I'm off to Flotsam and Jetsam and see if I can shift any more of these things.
I'll be back later on.
Maybe after I've seen a man about these and a woman about a courgette.
I won't ask.
Quick, quick! Captain, answer the door! That'll be Cynthia and Patricia. Please be on the best behaviour, or your bottles of Dundoo will be like the Titanic.
What? You mean served with ice?
No, lying shattered and broken at the bottom of the sea.
Surprise!
What the hell are you doing here, David?
Hello. I do work here.
Did I miss it? When?
The captain's got a point. I thought you was going off to the mainland to recharge your batteries and get away from it all.
I was, until I saw Patricia and that bit of posh totty. And then my brain thought, what better way to recharge by letting her plug herself into my long extension lead?
Brain? Trousers more like.
Oh no, where's Patricia?
She's parking a boat.
The term is mooring.
Parking, mooring, whatever. She took ages to reverse it back and forth. And then she hit the jetty a couple of times. Does anyone want a flambe bacon sandwich while we wait for him?
I don't care about the food. What did you say to Cynthia on the trip over?
I used the nation sensation technique. Okay, it didn't work, but I thought I'd wear her down until she falls for my charms.
That'll take an eternity.
Please say you didn't use your best chat up. I treat you like a racehorse.
That one, it's old out. Everyone seems to be using it. I now use the one, if I said you had a beautiful body, would you give me a shag?
Very unoriginal and crass.
It also smacks a tad desperate. You need to placate her and calm her down after that verbal onslaught. What can you do to help us?
I use whiskey.
Abuse it, more like.
Yeah, Robert.
You're a fine one to talk about. You're abusing yourself every night.
Not abuse. Self-loving.
You know where I'm coming from, Robert.
Where it goes is problem.
This conversation ends now. David, I implore you to behave. Do not trifle with this woman. We didn't need any cock-ups.
Trifle with cock-ups. Now that's kinky.
Just behave, or you will be in deep trouble. Patricia! Where's Cynthia?
What, the queen bitch from hell? She's just getting her broomstick out of the skipper.
And what mood is she in?
A good one.
Nice easy visit, Lan.
Let me finish. A good one if you weren't a sour-faced, bad-tempered cow who has just found out that after having plastic surgery that you have a face that resembles the features of a full colostomy bag.
If you two want to fight out, then I know when there's a big paddling pool and a large supply of mud that you can wrestle in.
I see nothing changes around this dump. I got on a rust bucket of a boat to come over to this hellhole, and then my intelligence and ears were assaulted by a man with the IQ of a sweaty cheese sandwich
And
and...
that's a load of rubbish.
Thanks for sticking up for me, Patricia.
I was sticking up for the skipper.
Can we stop the inane chattering, as it sounds like him in the monkey house at the zoo, talking about monkeys? Who might you be?
He is the great Captain Robert T. McRoy.
I was talking to the monkey, not the organ grinder.
You can't say that. He's not a monkey. He was the hero of Creek Bay.
Hey, if you wanted to, I could grow my organ against your...
Oh, he's the drunk one. And as for you, Mr. Nation...
Oh, you can call me the nation sensation if you want.
How about twat? That now brings it up to 55 charges of sexual harassment against you since I met you 30 minutes ago.
Fucking hell.
You want to go slow, David?
I know about everyone here as I read all of your notes. David Nation, 30 years old, says he joined to...
Seek out a new life for the civilizations and boldly get off with every bird in the country.
Well, sorry to disappoint you. It's not going to happen, as you'll never get off with me. Mark Winterbottom. He joined as he thought it would be...
A monumental honour to fulfil a lifelong dream and take your place in history to be amongst those courageous souls who dare to test their worth against the very forces of nature.
So, you're a sado with no life outside of your work environment.
And what can we say about you, Cynthia LaBouche? Or should I say your real name, Sally Bush?
Whose bush? Your bush? My bush? No, it's Sally's bush.
If you carry on like this, I will report you to Bob Fellows for gross misconduct.
You were always a grass, weren't you? Plus, I remember your conduct was gross behind the bike sheds with Jason Whitworth. Or Mr. Whitworth, as we had to call him at school.
That was ages ago.
That may be, but I'm sure his wife would be very interested to know that the only biology he was teaching you was sexual reproduction.
Oh, my favourite lesson.
You can't prove anything.
Come here and say that, you.
Girls! Calm down! We don't want to see you two tearing limbs out of each other. Like this?
Yes, we do. No, we want to see you tearing lumps out of each other, dressed in tight bikinis. As I said, I know where there's this paddling pool and some warm mud can be found.
Number 56 is warming up.
Something smells good around here.
Thanks, that'd been me. It's a new aftershave called Stag. An eau de cologne mixed with pheromones.
Sorry, I was talking about the food. What are you dishing up?
It's a sensation fish pie. A mixture of fresh seafood including my secret ingredient.
Come on, you can tell me. What is it?
I told you, it's a fish pie.
I meant, what's the secret ingredient?
Now that would be telling.
Well, tell me then.
It wouldn't be secret if I told you.
I'm going round in circles, I don't care anyway. Mark is totally transfixed by Cynthia. He's walking around her, drooling like he's just had a frontal lobotomy. If he carries on like this, we'll have to mop the carpet on a regular basis.
Okay, it's curly parsley and not flat leaf.
What is?
The secret ingredient I use.
I think the conversation has moved on from what type of parsley you put in it. I'm ravenous, can't wait to taste it.
You can't. It's not for you, it's for Cynthia.
Why is everyone obsessed by her? Go on and let me have a little slurp of it.
Now you're talking my kind of talk, but not here. Can't you see I'm cooking? Maybe later after everyone's gone to bed.
I was talking about licking the spoon to taste the sauce from the pie.
And I thought my dream had come true.
No chance. Come on, let me have a lick of it.
Let me get this straight. You're still talking about the pie again, right?
Yes.
I wouldn't do that if I was you. Not if you want to have violent eruptions from both ends of your body.
So you're saying that you won't let me lick it, as it's dangerous. And yes, I'm still talking about the pie. But why?
All of the shellfish came from the mud near the eastern shore.
When you say near the eastern shore, you mean near to the sewage pipe outlet? Oh, why didn't you tell Mark about it?
I tried, but then he took me away from my true love.
You mean Susie? Your right hand? How is that even possible?
It was someone much dearer to my heart.
If she's the one I'm thinking of, she has a detachable nozzle made of plastic, lives under the stairs, and definitely never ventures near your heart.
It gets lonely on you, especially when I have a libido the size of a rabbit on Viagra. I need to have relief somehow.
Just remind me never to empty the vacuum cleaner when I'm here. Anyway, I'm confused. Why would you give Cynthia the pie to make her ill if you wanted to woo her?
I thought if she was so ill, then she'd be vulnerable, and that's the way I like them.
David, have you ever just talked to a woman and told her what you're feeling?
Yeah, and I get a slap when that happens.
For telling her how you feel?
Telling her? Oh, that's where I'm going wrong. I'll get slapped for feeling her.
Said wandering hands that get you into trouble.
I'm only human.
Only just.
Well, I've got to say that the procedures on this lighthouse are slacker than a 40-year-old woman who has had 10 children. Mr. Winterbottom has assured me that he will pull you other two back in line. I, although, have more hope of seeing mermaids capturing the lighthouse and holding it hostage than that occurring.
Funny you said that.
Shut up, Captain McCroy. I know the real reason you are here on this island, and that is to... And so, that didn't give you the audacity to interrupt me when I am talking.
What was that lodge bang?
It came from the mainland.
What is the real reason Captain Robert T. McRoy is here, Cynthia?
I said he's here because he was... And that is the reason. I'm not saying it for a third time.
That's a relief.
What were those large bangs?
What bangs?
Several we heard just a second ago.
Well, when I'm a shore leave, you must hear loads of big bangs all the time.
More like cries of disappointment.
Enough of these distractions. Can we get back to my review?
Listen, Cynthia, it's over. Someone tune Keep the Darwin's radio to find out what's going on.
You join me, Darrell Bream, in the midst of devastation in the UK, within the small fishing village of St. Furzey's Bay, which, at present, looks like downtown Iraq. 2 explosions have occurred, one in the local pub and another further down the street behind me, leaving the small fishing community stunned. I have with me now the landlord of the Kippers and Cuffs public house, Malcolm Turner. Can you tell me what happened in your own words, Mr. Turner?
Well, I just kicked the punters out, was outside in the yard, preparing the fish for our weekly quiz. The last thing I remember is being blasted 40 foot back, still holding on to it.
Doesn't look like much of a place now, does it?
What do you mean? Problem of life, and now you're mocking it.
I meant the fish you're holding. It doesn't look like a place now.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot. Another quiz ruined.
But the pub was also ruined. We are also getting reports that the local curiosity shop was also the second place where a blast occurred.
Oh my god. That would be Flotsam and Jetsam.
This is Darrell Bream for Porpoise FM. Signing off for the moment. Stay tuned for the news as we get it.
This has been a terrible day.
It sure has.
Yeah, due to all that commotion, I've lost my chance with Cynthia when she decided to go home due to the problems on the mainland.
You never had a chance with her. She uses men, abuses them, and then spits them out.
All things I liked as well. Shit!
Do they ever find out what caused the explosions?
Apparently both Malcolm from the Kippers and Cuffs and Flotsam and Jetsam had bought some dodgy World War II bombers that turned out to be alive.
Does anyone know who the maniac was who sold it to them?
Unfortunately, the girl from Flotsam and Jetsam was new, and so she couldn't remember the person who she had done the deal with. And as for Malcolm, the explosion had given him amnesia.
Surely there's documentation.
The problem is that everything went up with the explosion, so the police have no leads.
Thank God.
What did you say?
Thank God no one's hurt.
Not physically. Robert's mentally scarred with the thought he's going to have to drink in the Gilmot from now on until the Kippers and Cuffs is rebuilt.
Although he was shocked, like a true hero, he offered to help.
Yeah, he's over there now trying to salvage the Dundoon from the cellar of the Kippers and Cuffs.
It's been a shot for me as well.
How?
I had place on the fish on Name That Fish. I could have been 21.45 up.
How could you think about cash at a time like this? I'm ravenous. Can you reheat a little bit of that fish pie for me, whilst I walk Miss Drake back to the boat?
I chucked it in the end. It was overcooked, so I binned it.
You threw all of it away?
Well, nearly all of it.
So, who got some of it then?
Cynthia. I like to help out women in distress.
She did not look distressed to me when she left.
She will be by tomorrow, won't she, David? Come on, Mark. You're going to walk me to my boat.
What do you mean?
What a day. I may have not got Cynthia tonight, but I will tomorrow. And as for you, Henrietta, it looks like you and me are going to be making some explosions of our own tonight. The Lighthouse Crash Band Scallop was written by Colin Wade with additional material by Ian Raymond. Gary Ball played David Nation and Keeper Darwin. Justin Cartledge played Mark Winterbottom and Keeper Brooke. Amy Clayton played Patricia Drake. Nicky Jupp played Robert T. McCroy. And Darryl Green was played by Gary Ball. Julie Salter played Cynthia LaBouche. And finally, Colin Wade played Malcolm Turner. This episode has been a lesson to us all that bombs are dangerous and should not be taken lightly or internally. If you would like to know more, please ring 071134 and we will put you in touch with a person less gullible than yourselves.